Opinions and stories around the game we love, told by your favorite storytellers. Stay up to date with all things cricket. Subscribe to Cricbuzz's YouTube channel and press that bell icon now.
TK, I know it's looking a lot into the future, but you briefly mentioned the role played by Venkatesh Iyer for your side. Do you see him, on the assumption that Hardik Pandya is not necessarily bowling as much as we'd like him to, playing a role, that kind of a role?
Look, I think very different, because Venkatesh Iyer is more of an opener, whereas Hardik Pandya bats in the middle. I don't think Venkatesh Iyer's strength is batting at 6 or 7. So straight away comparing him to Hardik Pandya is a bit unfair, because very different. Also, you got to understand Hardik Pandya has bowled a lot in the last 3-4 years. Yes, he hasn't bowled in this World Cup much. That is different. But generally, he's bowled a lot. Obviously has had the burden of bowling for Mumbai Indians and some key overs at that, and delivered a lot of the times, like any other bowler, and sometimes missed out as well. Whereas Venkatesh Iyer has just played 7 IPL games. He's bowled a bit for Madhya Pradesh, but he hasn't bowled so much in IPL level. When he plays a full IPL season and if he bowls a lot, then we'll know exactly where he stands. But still, he is in the mold of the slow medium pacer. He's not a 145 guy. He's a 128, 130 guy, but he's got good variations up his sleeve, which has also worked in T20. So we just need to wait and see if he's able to deliver with that consistently. Then you can call him that all-rounder. For now, he's an opening batter who can bowl a bit, but to become an all-rounder, he has to bowl more in IPL, and then we'll exactly know whether he can fit in as an all-rounder at for an Indian team, which is what I've heard the Indian team needs as well. They want batters who can bowl. That he can definitely fill in.
Yeah, and I think that's the role we've been seeing. If you have a look at the 4 semi-finalists who are already there, you can look at each of them, and you can see their top order, and you'll see they've got somebody or the other who can contribute with the ball. Even some of the teams who have gone out, like an Aiden Markram for South Africa, for example. So DK is right, Dooley, that yes, probably observe him in the next IPL, see how he goes, gets more bowling under his belt, but it's not a bad skill to have one of your top 5 delivering 2 overs, maybe even 4.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if look at what Glenn Phillips has done in the last little while. He's basically said, okay, I'm not going to be keeping. I've got to turn myself into a spin bowler, an off-spin bowler. Now, we haven't seen him used yet, but he is an option for New Zealand. And it's the one thing I would encourage, and I'm surprised that the Shreyas Iyers, Rohit used to bowl brilliantly. We saw Vijay used to bowl. I'm just surprised that a Shreyas Iyer and a lot of these guys that come through purely as batsmen do not bowl a bit of spin in the nets. And as when you're growing up, if you can add that skill to your game, then you just become so more selectable as a player in that top 4, top 5. Sehwag used to do it. Sachin used to do it. Ganguly used to do it. India used to have a plethora of people in that top 5, 6 that could bowl a few overs if you needed them. Now you can't find one. And that surprises me because of the amount of times that these guys spend in the nets. They've just got a bowl. Are they getting lazy? What's going on, DK? Come on.
Well, my answer to that is the fact that these days in T20, it's not easy being a part-timer anymore. I think a lot more in ODI cricket at that stage in the early 2000s, you used to find even Rahul Dravid has bowled a bit. They used to bowl a bit, and the first couple of overs, they used to fill in as what was called the 6th bowler. They used to roll their arm over. Somebody in the 5 will probably get hit a little bit, and they'll get somebody to roll their arm over. How much harm can a 3-over or a 4-over spell do in a 50-over game? That was the attitude. But with every over becoming critical, every ball being an event, in a T20 game, for a part-timer to come just to roll his arm over is no more a role. He has to be pretty good at what he does. So I think you're right. If somebody wants to, bowl that, be that person who wants to just roll his arm over, he needs to practice a lot and be ready to literally bowl in matches consistently. Then the captain will have the confidence of, obviously giving him the odd over. But a Rohit Sharma or a Virat Kohli or a Shreyas Iyer, they still bowl. But the problem is they don't have the confidence to bowl in games consistently. I think they know how much of a difference one over or one bad over can make in a T20, and hence are refraining from doing it.
Maybe a Nitish Rana, a good example in your side, DK. Someone who has maybe given enough confidence to a captain to give him a few overs.
Definitely. That's a very, very good example. He's somebody who's consistent with his bowling, bowls a lot for Delhi. So that option is always there. If everybody else goes for runs and you're thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do now? I have had instances where Moggs and me have discussed saying, do you think we should bring in a Nitish Rana, which is a healthy sign, which is what Dooley and you are exactly speaking about.
Yeah.